11.4 deals with this concept of normal distribution. Talked about the other day, where normal distribution is going to be symmetrical in nature, and then it's this bell curve where we have our peak in the middle, symmetrical on each side. Using normal distribution, we can find like roughly what percentage of values fall about the mean. It's called the empirical rule. So for a normal distribution, the key is that your middle is always the mean. Okay, so this line going up and down in the middle of our graph is going to be the mean. And then each line that we work out is one standard deviation away. Okay, so this first one would be +1, and then we're going +2, so on and so forth. For a population, we have 68% of the data falls within one standard deviation, 95 is going to fall within 2 of the mean. And when they say like falling within 1 or 2, they mean each way. So +1 and -1, or +2, -2. And then almost all the data, like 99.7%, is going to fall within 3. Now, using this empirical rule, you can make some predictions, conclusions, assumptions, whatever you want to call it. So going to example 1. Here's a normal distribution graph, okay? And they're always going to have these values in there for you. So you do not have to have these memorized. Remember that a decimal can be rewritten as percent just by multiplying by 100. So this 0.34 is the same as 34%, okay? So now we can answer questions. They want to know what range of chest measurements contains 68% of the data. You always start off in the middle with the mean. So they tell us that our mean is 40. We can go ahead and throw 40 right on our middle line. And then we have a standard deviation of 2. Okay, so each line that goes to the right, I'm adding 2. So I get 42, 44, 46. And then to the left, I'm subtracting. So we go 38, 36, 34. Okay, so our question is, what range of chest measurements contains the 68% that fall closest to the mean? So 68% is going to be these middle 2 regions. So we always work our way out. Okay, I'm going one to the right, one to the left. I add those together. It gets me to 68%. So our range would be from 38 to 42 inches. We're going to have 68% of our data. For B, they want to know what would you expect the chest measurements to be for the smallest 2.5% of men. So again, you make your normal distribution. We start from the middle at 40. Each line to the left is still 2 inches down. Okay, it's the same scenario. So we count down by 2. I get 38, 36, 34. This question wants the smallest. So you deal with the smallest number. So if I go ahead and shade this in, I'm at 0.15% for that region. This next one is going to get me to 2.35%. Okay, so if I go ahead and add those together, they get me to the 2.5%, which I wanted. And then they're asking me, what is the range? Or like, what would you expect the measurements to be? Okay, so I'm looking for every measurement that is less than 36 inches. Okay, so I'm looking for every region to the left of 36. So that would be less than 36. Okay, so you have that try it to do, and then we got one more for example 2. So on example 2, they talk about recent SAT scores, college-bound students. They're normally distributed. They say that our mean is 508, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that right in the middle, 508. And our standard deviation is 121. So as I go to the right, we're adding 121. So that would give me 629, 750. And we would have 871. Working our way to the left, subtracting off, it would give me 387, 266, and then 145. Okay, so that's step 1. Label the normal distribution graph. For A, they want to know what proportion of students receive scores between 387 and 629. You go ahead and shade in. So I'm going from 387, so here, all the way up to 629, which is here. Okay, so from here to here, you add them up, it's going to give me to 68%. Okay, for B, they want the proportion of students that receive scores greater than 387. So I go to 387, then I add up every region to the right. So I'm going here over. Now, the easier way to do this would be to realize that half of my data, so 50% is to the right, 50% is to the left. So if I have this region right here plus the whole right, it's going to be 34 plus 50. It gets me to 84%. Okay, so that'd be a little cheat right there. And that is it for section 11.4.